Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Travel Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to have a insightful conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development, in addition to your well-being, right? But in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about compassion improves resilience, right? So being hard on yourself doesn't make you stronger. It makes it harder for you to keep going, right? So we got to be able to take in consideration that we're hard on ourselves, right? It's only going to keep us short for the flow. It's going to keep us down, right? It's not going to give us the motivation to keep going, right? So we got to be able to be compassionate, loving, kind, right? The way we talk to other people, the way we treat other people, we got to be able to treat ourselves in that type of light, right? We fall down, we able to get back up, right? You're not the baddest person in the world. Other people on the planet was here too. They try to do what they had to do, right? Like, you're not the only person that was suffering, right? Everybody has their unique story, but there's a way out of it, right? We can, through the darkness, there's, you know what I mean? We need what? Need light, right? And at the end of the day, there's light out the end of the tunnel, right? So we got to be able to have a different perspective. We got to be able to have, you know what I mean, compassion over ourselves, our situation, right? There's many other people that in this world that is in a worse predicament or situation that they're in, right? We got to just, like I said, have a joyfulness mindset, positive mindset, and just know that we're able to get through the situation, right? But in regards to normalizing some shame, right? Many people believe that toughness means being strict or crucial to themselves, right? Being harsh on themselves. You don't need to think as compassion as a way for you to be compliant or less self-driven in that sense, right? But this is a way to help us out in our mindset, right? But, you know, that pressure of, you know, pulling ourselves down leads to that burnout, that avoidance, even shutting down, right? But I really want to, like I said, reinforce that we need to be grounded. We have to be able to, like I said, have no judgment, right? Be compassionate, be kind to ourselves in regards to our situation and our circumstances to improve us to get to where we need to be in regards to that outcome. Moving forward in regards to some psychoeducation, give us that groundness, to give us that focus, is that when it comes to self-criticism, it activates the stress response in the body, right? That cortisol is spiking up, right? You got to be able to be, like I said, be neutral, be kind to yourself. So like I said, make yourself feel more neutral, right? Than being negative to yourself, having you feel down, having you feel inadequate, right? So compassion leads to, like I said, regulating those responses that supports that recovery. This is helping you heal. This is helping you get right. This is helping you feel neutral, right? It helps you feel safe internally, in addition to it's easier for you to bounce back after those setbacks, right? And it's like I said, when you fall down, you get back up. But like I said, you're able to learn from the situation. You're able to have that compassionate mindset. This is going to be able to support you, perhaps if this was to happen in the future, or anything else was to happen in the future. You just know how to have a stronger mindset, right? So resilience isn't something that you just, you just push through pressure. In that sense, it's something that you build with that support and with that positive mindset. In regards to some practical reframe, in regards to how we're able to look at compassion a little bit more differently, right? So compassion isn't about lowering your standards. It's about changing how you respond to things when they get hard, right? Difficulty's going to come. Life fluctuates, right? Life's not Caneland. You're going to have your days where, you know what I mean? Things is just chaotic. I don't know what's going on right now, right? But like I said, try your best to keep yourself in that positive frequency, positive mindset, right? Get yourself away from people that are distracting. Keep yourself away from people that misery likes that company, right? So keep yourself away from that negative people, right? I really want us to be more self-aware. I'm always gonna push for the journal. Like I said, back in the days, I was saying I ain't gonna do. What am I doing? No damn diary. You heard? But yo, I really put the work in. I mean, and this ain't even my only one that I have right here, but it's just like on the back, and it's like you want to have that self-awareness. Really want to get some more context and understand what's going on with yourself, your mood, right? The do's, the don'ts, your day, like what's going on, and this keeps you accountable. You know what I mean? You build that rapport with yourself, right? So I really want us to take that into consideration, because this is going to be something that's going to be able to help us, support us through recovery, healing, and even that resilience of whatever struggle that we're going through, right? So in regards to, like I said, let's pull it back into what can we do to kind of make this in positive practical reframing, right? So in regards to, like I said, compassion, you got to be understanding with yourself. You got to have that patience. You also got to be honest to yourself without that harshness, right? Like I said, we got to have the positive mindset. You also got to be accountable at the same time, right? Like I said, showing up for yourself. And like I said, by journaling, this is going to be able to provide that at the same time. So compassion doesn't remove responsibility. It's easier to return to it. Like I said, we have to be able to understand that it's almost like a battery, right? It's a negative side, there's a positive side. Let's be real to ourselves and our mind, right? We've got negative thoughts, right? We have positive abilities, we have positive thoughts, we have strengths, right? We have good things, gifts in us, right? But if we're prone to be on the negative side, right, how do you think it's going to manifest into our life, into our world, into our mood, right? Let's get on the positive side, right? What would life look like in that sense? a little better, right? Let's be real. Let's be real. Our improved situation. So I really want to take that in consideration. Let's really try to change our ways. Let's get more on that positive side, right? So the light out of the darkness, right? So we can really be in a different different situation. Let's be real, right? We want us to break that down, right? So like I said, we got to be more accountable. We got to be more kind. We got to be more self-aware. But moving it in regards to micro action, in regards to improving with that application, because when we know better, we tend to do better, right? So notice one moment today where you would like to criticize yourself, right? So identify that, write that down, right? Write the date, write the time, like what's really going on, right? You want to be able to track this, like let's build this rapport, right? So pause and rephrase that with something positive, right? Let's say, for instance, you were speaking to someone else. What would you do? I mean, obviously, you would tell them to, you reframe that for them, right? So why wouldn't you apply that to yourself as well? So use a positive reframe, right? Make sure it's realistic. Be real to yourself, right? At the same time, too. Hello. At the same time, too, just make sure it's no problem. Just make sure it's fair, make sure it's supportive, make sure it's realistic, like, right? For instance, I'm gonna just give you an example. You wanna have like a reality check, right? So like a negative thought, for instance, is saying like, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're broke, you're a bum, da, da, da. You know how it is, you know what's up, you know what I mean? But the reality check is this, no, I'm not. No, I'm actually doing the best. I'm showing up for myself. I'm accountable. I make my bed in the morning. You feel me? I brush my teeth, right? I do the little things, right? You know what I mean? And then the positive for him is positive things like, I'm not dumb, so I'm what? I'm smart. I'm not broke, but also too, you could be rich in what? You can be rich in spirit, right? You don't always got to have money to be able to feel at ease, right? There's people out here that's in different countries, broke, et cetera, they're down bad, right? But they have a smile on their face, they have joy in their heart, you know what I mean? They're rich in spirit, right? So moving forward in regards to, like I said, just you want to give yourself the reality check, right? But really positive reframe with positive words to boost you up, to make you feel better about yourself, right? Because you deserve that. That's you. You know what I mean? However, when it comes to trying, you know what I mean, to boost yourself in that sense, like I said, do the best that you can. You know what I mean, it's going to feel uncomfortable in the beginning. Usually things feel uncomfortable in the beginning. I got to be real with you, but just, I don't want you to shut down. I don't want you to stop, but I really want to, like I said, kind of use this in a sense to develop that momentum to kind of, like I said, because this is what we need to build. It's a skill, right? We don't just do it one time and then we're done, right? Also, too, negativity. Remember the negative side, right? It's gonna come back, right? Let's be real. It's like a tug of war type of situation, right? But the more practice that we do in regards to this positive reframing, it's gonna help us navigate, like I said, that resilience. How we treat ourselves is very important, and it really shifts how we're able to recover it in regards to even how we get that treatment, right? But it starts within us, right? So, and also too, by treating yourself and by loving yourself and really learning yourself and doing all these things we're doing personal development, you're going to be able to have better relationships with other people, right? Because the love lies where? Within. You feel me? So I really want us to take that in consideration, right? So be kind to yourself, do this inner work, right? And it's all going to add up. It's all going to help you with that resilience. It's all going to help you be that best individual as possible. And this is what we do, right? So what if your own, like I said, side, like I said, we have negative side, we have the positive side. Which one would be able to help you keep going? Pretty sure you know what's up, right? We'll just leave it here. I think that we had a good, conversation. There was good information. But like I said, you have the abilities, you have the gifts. Let's look at our strengths, let's look at our ways to improve. But like I said, it starts with the kindness. We have that ability. Let's do it, right? If you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible. See you on the next one. Stay blessed.